If you haven't started yet, it's not too late. This is a sign that I'm well ahead. So you need to come and join me for germinating your pepper seeds to get to this stage. Hello, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I am Donna, the pepper lady in London, and I grow peppers, lots and lots of peppers. Bowl, look there, pepper and top of pepper. Help! Me need help. The runner back full of pepper. Strong harvests don't happen by accident. They start with good soil, warmth, and consistency. The soil I used was fast, reliable, gave me the best germination for all those peppers. Everyone keep asking me, Donna, how did you get such good germination with your pepper seeds? Fast and reliable germination? This is a secret. Good soil. You need to have a good compost it is peat based, moist, and aerated. That's my secret. I use the Durston's. It's an amazing compost. Seed and cutting compost enables germination and strong growth. My little setup right here. So I've got all my seeds in the cells that are ready on the heated mat. Everything is on heated mat. I've got lights. The lighting is set up there, and you can tell that some of the peppers are coming through nicely already. Yeah, look at that. Look how beautiful. Look how healthy it looks. All because I use a good germination compost. The compost that is very light, very airy, very moist, ready to germinate your seeds. You can tell that I have a few going on right here. They're not germinated yet, but this is my little setup right here. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. This is the year I'm going to say, grow a lot of peppers. You're going to see me growing all these peppers, different varieties. Yes, any type you want. I'm going to grow some nice chilies. Look at these lovely peppers. Come on, it's the year to grow. We're going to start it and we're going to carry on. So, one love, DW Garden 2026. Come on with me. Welcome to my DW Garden. I have a bowl of peppers right before me. Obviously, what am I talking about today? Germination. In order for the peppers to grow like these, they have to start from seeds. And the seed process is called germination. So come along with me and let us talk germination. A few things for your shopping list before you start your germination. You're going to need a reliable seed and cutting compost. You're going to need your vermiculite to help to keep the soil moist. You need your heat mat. You can tell that mine is already being used. Your heated mat, definitely. And your seed cells and a tray. So the tray is to keep your seed cells tidy. So look, you can get those that you can use again or dispose. So this is your seed cell, and you definitely will. This is like a propagator, so you need a cover to lock the moisture in. So once you set your seeds, you fill this up with your compost and sow your seeds. It sits in that tray. Yep, and do not overwater. And then this is a cover, it's a dome, and that will keep the heat and the moisture in for quick and fast germination. And remember, we spoke about ventilation, that the seeds will need air. So this dome has the option of opening up and closing, so you can check for the moisture if it's drying out, and then you can close back. It will be ideal for you to get a tub so you can put your mixture in this tub. So if you notice that I have already got my soil in, and then you can add your vermiculite into this bowl and mix it. So I'll show you. And then you need a shovel. And also, if you don't have gloves, you can use disposable gloves. So you can mix your vermiculite and then you can transfer it from here to another container or straight to the cell. You need a jar with water for mixing your mixture for your seeds. So that's a jar with water. So you have to verify how much water you need. But then, as I said, you just use a shovel of vermiculite, put that in, get your hands in there, that in. So once you've mixed this together, then you will work out how much moisture it is needed. Then you will add the water. So this is I'm just showing you your shopping list and just the initial stage of it. I'll show you more in the video. But that's your shopping list: vermiculite, your compost, your seed trays, your shovel, your gloves, and yes, your seed and cutting compost trays, and your heat mat. Those are all your shopping lists needed. If you're living in a cold country like I do, you will need to start your seeds. You need to give them a jump start. Some seeds may take longer. I usually start my seeds off January, February, because you have the habaneros, the capsicums, the Jamaica Scotch Bonnet peppers need at least a good 3-4 months before you see any improvement. So I usually start them off a good 8 weeks indoors before they're taken outside. So I have some seeds here, and these have been stored in some envelopes in a cool place. Yes, in a shot pan. But I'm going to show you that you can cut a pepper as it is and germinate it straight. You don't have to worry about, oh, I have to get it dry. So these are some nice pepper seeds that you can germinate. Have a look. And remember to wear your gloves. Don't follow me. So that's, you see the heart of the pepper there and the vein inside the pepper. You take those seeds and you can put it straight into your cells. That's another one. Have a look. So you can, see how lovely these seeds look? They're healthy, isn't it? So you can germinate these pepper seeds straight into the cell. How to germinate your pepper seeds. There are 3 main things that a pepper seed needs for germination. It requires heat, moisture, and ventilation. Remember, peppers are a tropical fruit or spice plant or whatever you want to term it as. So I live in London, and we don't have the tropical weather as my dear country Jamaica. So I have to do all my germination on a heated mat. The temperature is between 70 and 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Once your seeds has germinated and started to sprout, they require some form of light. In my case, I'm using the grow lights, and they're required to be under light for at least 12 to 16 hours a day. Plants need light because you don't want them to be leggy. When they're coming up, they grow towards the light. They head towards the light source. It gives them energy and stability. So, how do you germinate your seeds? Okay, what do you need? You require to germinate your seeds. Are you prepared? Come on, talk to me. If you're not prepared, you need to get yourself to the store and buy yourself some soil, some seed potting soil. So you've got some soil that has peat in it, I recommend it. The Durston seed and cutting compost is very good. Also, you can have them pre-done with the vermiculite. So I remember I gave you a shopping list. So you need to go back and look on my video and see the shopping list. So you will need to have your cells. These are your trays, your seed cells. So they're different sizes. This one is very robust. Some of them I actually buy them and I use them once and I get rid of them because it's pointless, packing up with a lot of them. So this one is a very good one. It's very, very sturdy. I can use it over and over. I've got it for years, over and over. So you definitely will need your seed tray cells. You will definitely make sure that you have the tray so you can bottom water but don't over water. But this is to protect any spillage in the house or wherever you're, you know. It's for me in the house because I don't want any spillage in the house. So this is perfect. You see that? So right, so what we'll need to do is that we need to so we talk about the heat, ventilation, seed cell, and the light. So let's go and set up the compost now. So remember I spoke about getting your soil. So you definitely will need soil that is pre-done for seedlings. And this is one. This might not have the vermiculite in it. Seed compost. If you buy your compost and you think it's not fine enough for the seedlings, because you need it to be, you don't want too much of a chunky soil, you can use a sieve and sieve your compost, you know, if you want to go to the extra mile and ensure that your seedlings are, you know, in very good fine compost. Right, so preparing your soil. Remember I spoke about the soil that I used, Durston's seed and cutting compost. It has, it's peat base, and peat is, to me, very good because it helps sustain the moisture in the soil. It does not dry out, and I find I have 100% germination rate with this compost. If you ever look, let me so you see. And remember your gloves. Yeah, you're gonna need the gloves. So it's already moist, but what we're going to do now, we are going to add the vermiculite to the soil. So I'll put some in this container here, my bowl. So I'll just use what I need. I'm not going to pour it from the bag. So that's my vermiculite. It's very light. That's why it's called vermiculite, isn't it? Right, okay, so I put that back there. So you've got the soil and you've got the vermiculite. So these two things are what I am going to show you how to use to, you know, set the cells so you can plant your seeds, sow your seeds. So I'm going to mix in the vermiculite into this, and I'm going to work it in. Remember that the vermiculite helps to sustain the soil and the moisture in the soil. That's the purpose of having vermiculite in there. So you can use perlite as well. So just gonna mix that in, I think. And I'm mixing this in first before I add the water, because I don't want it to be too wet. You don't want it to be over soaking wet at all. So this is in preparation for germinating your seed. This process is in preparation to germinate because you want healthy plants. Remember, if you're growing this Jamaica Scotch Bonnet, your exotic peppers, and some peppers require more time. So if you're indoors, like I am here in London, and if you're planting your seeds, you're gonna need time. Some peppers, I know that some peppers require more time, at least 12 weeks. Definitely. I know the Scotch Bonnet need at least 12 weeks. So, you know, before they're literally hardened off and taken outside. 12 weeks, definitely. So, you know, I've already started mine. So if you haven't started yours, you're well late. Okay, so I think I have enough vermiculite in here to keep the soil moist. I'll just, you know, let me just use this. Hold on. So I think that has enough. Now for adding the water. So we're gonna add water to this gently. Remember, do not oversaturate. So just work it in. Remember, look. See, start. So one of the things that you can do is to work it in. So you want it damp, but you don't want it too wet. But if you find that your soil, if you have too much in there and you squeeze and water, you see, let me show you. you don't want your soil to be like that. You see that water dripping out? You don't want your soil to be like that. So I will just work it in now. So it's of a good consistency. Mix it in so it's fully combined and it's thoroughly, you know, has enough moisture. That's all you need, the moisture. You don't want, and remember to have your spray can, definitely your spray bottle, because you will need that for moisture. Remember, they need moisture. There's no water coming out of that. That's good. You see, when you, this is how you test it. So you see that there's nothing coming from that. So that's just right. So it's right at the right consistency. It's at the right mixture. So okay. Also ensure that you have your labels, because you want to make sure you know what plants you plant and what, because you don't, I know eventually you'll know what they are, but it's good to be organized so you know where your plants are, which is Scotch Bonnet, which is habanero, which is chili, all that you need to know. So that's why it's good to have Spice. My cat showing me her tummy. Why you show me your tummy? While I'm here talking to you guys, that's what Spice is doing. She's flipping her tummy. Spice, why are you flipping your tummy when mommy working? Ah, you want to come and play? Ah, invest in a caddy. Is that what you call a caddy? Invest in a caddy so you know you have everything there. So when you're in the garden, you know you have that and everything inside here. We've got the dibber. We're going to need that. We've got labels. So get yourself a little caddy to carry around so you know where your tools are. Because you know what it is? You forget the tools all as you're thinking, where, you know, especially if you go through the menopause and you can't remember some of the time, is that you put the tool down there so and you can't remember where you put the tool. You understand? So get a caddy. As soon as you finish doing something, you put it in here. It's a central point in the garden. Put it in here. A caddy, and it has a drawer underneath it. You can just put any little thing underneath it. Yeah, get yourself one of that. All right. Is a toolbox? Get a toolbox. So here we are going to use this very sturdy cells. Yeah, and there is the bottom for it. Yeah, so that sits in there. So we're going to stack this now, and ensure when you're stacking. Remember, you got your trowel as well. So you got that. You got this, whichever you want to use. I think you can just use your hand. You know, you have the choice. So the more tools you have access. It's much better access. So we're going to fill up our, I think I'll just use my hand. I think I'll just use my hand. When you're stacking, remember to compress, but don't compress too hard. Yeah, so this soil is so good. It feels good, you see. So I know say the pepper seed is going to germinate in a few, you know, some seeds can take up to 14 days, some 7 days. You know, as I said, if it has good lighting. But what you do is that I do sometimes. I will keep it in the dark, so the seeds, and I keep watching it like a hawk. And as soon as I think the seeds are coming out, my light goes on, because I want the seeds to meet light when they come out. Remember that. I want them to meet light. So we're going to fill this up. Remember your garden gloves as well. Yeah. So this is the germination process. This is how you germinate your seeds. How to germinate your seeds. For quick germination. Quick and fast germination. Quick like a fire, like a jet. Fast germination. So if you notice that I filled all the cells, well, I'm going to go around and compress. So compress, you see, even though it's, yeah, go use your thumb and make sure that there's no gap inside. Yeah, there's no gap in there. So we're gonna go around and fill that in. Yeah. You'd be surprised, yeah. There's no gaps there. Fill that in. Make sure. And don't go too hard on the compression, because you want the soil to be loose as well. Yeah? Remember that. Don't go too rigid on the soil. You want it to be loose as well, because you want the seeds to push itself. So when the seeds is coming out, it might wriggle and it might, it's true. When the seed that come out, it might wriggle and it might wind up and it might say, Lord, me have come out now, me have gonna make one. It's like a baby being born. Everything is a process. So fill that up. I'm enjoying this, and I hope you are, because it's really nice. It's really therapeutic. So once you finish putting together your vermiculite and your soil, and it has the right consistency and it moist, and you filled out the cells, it's time to sow the seeds. I have some Scotch Bonnet seeds that I have saved in that little jar, and I'm going to start adding 1 seed per cell, or you can put 2 seeds. These are Scotch Bonnet seeds, and they can take up to 12 weeks, definitely. This is much better. Just use the tip of the pen and just insert that down. Yeah, push that down in there. There you go. There it is. Once you completed the sowing of your seeds, the next thing that you need to do is get some of the soil that you used to fill the cells and cover over. So it's like covering over, make sure they all cover and inserted properly. So you're just going to go over, just sprinkle some on the top, and then evenly spread it out. And the next thing, at this stage, you want to give yourself a big pat on the back, because you've come this far. So if you notice, I've done all my seed cells. I've finished it off by topping it up with some soil. So now I'm taking my gloves off. And remember, I spoke about moisture. So you need to spray it. Give it a good spray. Spray the whole entire thing. Make sure it's not saturated, but it's moist. Remember, we spoke about moisture, light, heat. The seeds require, and ventilation, the seeds require that for a quick germination. And then you're going to have your thermometer to measure the rate on, or the heat, how high the heat is. So yes, we're ready to go now. Next step. See the size. And let me put a label here. So I know one side here is my Scotch. This is another Scotch over that side. So I know. So remember your label. So you need to know. So that is a special Scotch. It's another one. And in the middle here is some habaneros. So I will know the difference. Yeah. Make sure that this side, you notice that it's clean edges. You know that? Clean edges. Yeah, one of the things that you can do is to use a cling fling, and that will help to speed up the germination rate as well. This is now ready to go on a heated mat and where the lights are. So let me take you over to where I have the others. Now that my Scotch Bonnet seeds are sown, everything comes down to the final check. The soil is lightly moist, not soaked. The warmth is steady because the heat wakes the seed up. So the humidity dome is in place, holding just enough moisture to create the perfect microclimate. The grow lights are on. Notice the position close but gentle, giving enough energy, no stress, no rush, no overwatering, just patience. Keep it covered under the humidity dome and always check for moisture. If it lacks moisture, just spray. Give it a good spray. Soon your seedlings will be sprouting and ready for transplanting. Keep it on the heated mat in a dark place, but as soon as they start to sprout, then that's where you transfer them to where the grow lights are. Now, this is where the curiosity sets in. How long does it take for the seeds to start sprouting? Some seeds will take up to 7 to 10 days or even longer, up to 21 days before they start to germinate and protrude through the soil. And this is why you need to exercise some patience, keep watching, keep the lights, the heat, and the moisture and the ventilation, and just sit back and wait. You will be amazed when they come through. Exciting part, guys. I know you're going to be really happy once you've seen your peppers come to life. So once they have germinated and they're sprouted, you remove the dome and place it under the grow lights. The grow lights is required for energy and stability to your plants. Remember that you need to keep it under the light for at least 12 to 16 hours a day, and that's what will give them the energy to grow into strong plants. And the temperature is between 70 and 85, but don't let it fall between 60 degrees at night, right? Soon you'll be potting on, fertilizing, moving them to larger pots. The excitement starts here. And remember to check the soil. Don't let it dry out. If it starts to dry out, then that's where you get in and starts to spray and keep it moist. It requires moisture, light, and heat. Remember that? Heat, light, and moisture. And you're on your way. So this is how your peppers should start looking once they start growing. Isn't that a beauty? That is really awesome. This looks really amazing. Keep your thermometer close so you can always check on the humidity and the temperature of your plants. Also, you need to keep tuned to the channel because I'll be talking more about potting on, true leaves, and different aspects of growing and getting a lot of peppers. Also, comment, like, share, and subscribe. I hope this video helped.